All right. So I'm starting my screenplay on Princess Wall Street. All right. The laptop is on, and it's just sitting there waiting for ideas. Well, here's the problem. I'm locked in my room. All right. So all I have are the ideas in my room, and that's not adventurous for the ideas that I want for the story. Right? It's not an Aaron Sorkin movie where it's just two people in a room, right? If you write a two people in a room movie, being locked in your room is just fine, right? But my movie is an adventure, so I need an adventure. Well, how do I do that? I can travel, go on an adventure. Or I can play video games. Right? Video games is basically you going on an adventure. Literally, because the avatar is you. Right? So I'm playing Zelda Skyward Sword. Right? It'll take at least a month to beat a video game. So I'm going on this adventure and it's rich. Right? It's just rich with adventure stories. And that's where I research. That's where I get my sources. And this is the problem with Hollywood. They're locked in their room. They write about rooms. That's all they write about. They don't write adventure stories, real adventures, because they don't play video games. Right? Hollywood needs to play more video games. They really do. Because all you write about is two people in a room. Hollywood. Honestly. It gets redundant. It gets old. So you need to play more video games to go on actual adventures. Get real life experience. Right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm playing Zelda Skyward Sword for a month. Right? It's a real month of research. To get something into my brain, because it's empty. One, I'm locked in a room. Two, I was just born. Right? I'm literally starving. There's nothing there. Right? So by playing Skyward Sword, I'm feeding my brain. Right? By going on adventures, you feed your brain. By traveling, you feed your brain. By studying, you feed your brain. By reading, you feed your brain. Right? A lot of people these days, they're starving. There's nothing in their brain. Right? So I'm starting Zelda Skyward Sword, and I'll probably play it for a month, because it takes at least a month to beat. And that's a business write-off. Right? For Hollywood. That's a real... You're like, oh, you're wasting time playing video games. Nuh-uh. That is a real business write-off. It's for business. Alright? You need to play more video games. And have it as a business write-off. For taxes. Alright? So don't think of it as you're wasting time. You're not. You're doing real research. So, that's what I'll be doing right now. As you can see, I'm starting it up, and I'm getting ready to play right now. And I have my laptop out and open for just jotting down ideas. Now that everything's done and the multiverse is planning on moving in, we're basically done. That's what I'll be doing. I gotta feed this. You can't write a story when I haven't done anything in my life. Can't. I sit there in bed all day. I'm like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can't write what you don't have. Right? So I'm locked in my room, but I'm going on adventures. I'm playing video games, right? So that's how I fix that problem of being locked in my room or being poor, right? You can't travel. So yeah, that's the update for Princess Wall Street. On the research aspect, how Hollywood does research is really outdated, right? They're not using all their resources, right? They're just not. For some reason, they're just like, oh, we don't play video games. It's like, okay, you can do that as a business write-off for a month. I don't know why Hollywood doesn't do it. It's rich. Video games are rich with story, and you're the avatar going on that adventure. So I don't know why. I just don't understand Hollywood's hesitation to that medium. That hesitation to that medium, I don't understand. It's like a museum. It's like a painting. It's like a library. Why are you so hesitant to go there? I don't get it. I don't understand. If anyone can solve that problem, go on ahead. But it's like the Mona Lisa, right? It's like the Mona Lisa, and you just won't go there. It's like a modern museum, and you just don't go there. That's weird. Don't you think that's weird? I think it's weird. It's a modern museum, and you just don't ever go. That's weird. So yeah, that's basically it. That's what I'll be doing. I think everything's pretty much done. So, that's what I'll be doing for a month, right? And I'll just be jotting notes down. If I have any, it's blank right now. So my laptop's just on, and I'm not typing because I have nothing. Right? A lot of people go just type for a first draft. I don't do that. I don't just type. Right? I need to feed my brain first. Go to a museum, travel, play video games, read books. I need to feed the brain, and then the creativity pours out on writing. Right? A lot of people go, your first draft is horrible. Because you're starving yourself. Of course it's going to be bad. Right? So I don't want to waste my time typing up a first draft when I know it's going to be bad. I could use that time to travel, to play video games, to read, to do research. I can use that time better. Right? When you know it's bad, just don't do it. When you know the first draft is going to be bad, don't do it that way anymore. Right? People are like, oh, in writing, the first draft will always be bad. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It can be full of errors, but it doesn't have to be bad. So that's how I feel, where you're just wasting your time. Right? You're better off traveling or doing research or playing video games. Really, I'm not kidding. You're better off playing video games than you are writing a first draft. A lot of these people, they waste so much time. It's like for Min, 18 years, he was doing research. That's why when it came time for him to come up with ideas, he's like, pop, 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 it just comes out. right? A lot of these people, on their first novel and stuff, they're like, I don't travel, I don't play video games, I don't. Then what are you doing? What are you doing? You're basically writing about nothing. So I encourage people to do a lot of research. Travel, go to college. Do that. So the multiverse, going to college, that's good. That's doing research. You're doing something. That's something that you can use later. Right? Instead of staying at home and complaining. Oh, all we do is complain at home. We sit in our homes and we just complain. Then go be active. Go move into that dorm room. That'll give you something to write about. Right? So a lot of people, they do that. They sit at home and they just complain. They don't do anything. So I encourage people to do research in your free time. Always be doing research. Play a sport, join a club, create something, read something, play video games. Play a lot of video games, please. You're very outdated. Very outdated, right? These are adventures. Right? This is traveling for the brain. That's traveling right there. Right? So when girls and stuff say, oh, we don't play video games. We don't play video games. You sound like a granny. We don't play those video games. What are these video games? Oh, we don't play video games. That's what you look like. You look like an old granny. Oh, we don't travel. What are these iPhones? What's with the I in front of the phones? It's just an iPhone. That's what you look like. You look like an old granny that don't do anything but sit at home and complain. And then when you write a book, it's about an old person complaining. Oh, slavery. Oh, I wish I didn't do that. Oh my God. Oh, look at me just sitting at home complaining. Complain. The Bible. What is the Bible? A complaint. That's not an adventure. It was never an adventure. Now look at all the Christians. What did they do? God said don't do that. God said don't do that. God said don't do that. They just sit there and complain. Alright? So you need to go on adventures. You need to research in your free time. And not be old and complaining. Alright? And video games is a museum. It's not a toy for little kids. It's a museum of imagery and music and sound and creativity. It's a museum that you can actively play as an avatar. You ever want to play the Mona Lisa? Well, you can. Have you ever wanted to play during the time of the Renaissance? Well, you can. It's a museum. It's a modern museum. You gotta understand that. Right? People have this association when you're having fun and you're playing. Only children have fun and play. That's wrong. Studying can be fun. Research can be fun. Creating a business can be fun. Right? They're like, oh, Min's having so much fun and look at everything he creates. It doesn't make sense. Because your idea of associating fun and play is for children. That's wrong. Learning can be fun. You're supposed to have fun learning. Alright? You guys are old. You guys are like from the 1920s. You guys are from the 1800s. I'm not kidding. Like, how you see the world is old, man. Like, it's not modern. It's not contemporary. So professors and presidents and everyone needs to play video games. You need to. You become a better leader because it teaches you how to be a leader. It teaches you creativity and problem solving, and it has so many aspects to it. Video games is up here. All right? Compared to other research, video games is up here. Like traveling to ancient Greece and stuff, video games right here. It's the best form of research. Especially if you're studying humanity, because it's made by humans. Right? Video games are up here. Other forms of research, way down here. That includes physics and all of it. Right? If you want to see physics in action, play a video game. Play a video game. You see the physics moving around and fall damage, and you see a lot of physics in video games. Right? That's why you see Lauren and stuff, they like, we can't imagine it. Show us. Right? Zoe and Lauren's like, we can't imagine it. Like, what does it look like? Right? Min's like, what the heck? It looks like this. Right? And they're down here, they're like, we don't see it. They're old, they're outdated. You need to play more video games. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Do with it what you will. We'll just go more into it further along this experience. But yeah, a lot of you guys and girls are very outdated. You need to understand that. All right, you're very, 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 very outdated. Very outdated. Right? You need to look at technology as this. Not for kids. Technology is up here of research. Right? And if you don't study technology, you're way behind. All right? Remember, technology, all forms of technology, up here, of research. It's a form of research. And if you don't study it, you're way behind. All right? You're kicking rocks. All right.